Okay, let me put it. We have new starter music. Wait till you hear this.
Ooh.
You ever heard that before? This is a class act now. We are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We're waiting for YouTube. Come on, YouTube, you could do this. Come on, YouTube, you could. Okay, we're good. And let's get the party started here. Dance with me. Look, he's dancing. Everybody loves this music. Thank you,
I
Suno.
do.
Happy birthday! It's your day! Celebrate! Special way. I'm wearing purple today. First time. Smile. Just a little more before we go. Here we go. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da. All right, let's quiet down all the celebration music. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Bonnie D with my special guest co-host Barak E. How are you, dear?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. You get 2 sentences to introduce yourself before we get started with the festivities. So tell people who you are, what you do. Go.
Barak, and I am Bonnie's absolute favorite.
Besides, well, tell them why. Tell them why. You just made 100 people jealous, or maybe 1,000 people.
That's now you're gonna have to go and look at her shows and discover the truth.
Okay, you're an
Do
author.
your own research.
You're an
I'm also an
author.
author. Yes, I am
Come
an
on, hold
author,
up
and
the
I
book.
have I have this. Oh,
Oh,
this
there
is
you go. Right. That's it. The Crack in the Crystal, Barak Engel. There you go. And quickly, what's the book about?
It is it's a fantasy mystery crossover that is based off of a D&D campaign that I ran during the pandemic.
Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who don't know the initials. There we go. Okay, let's get started. It's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. It's August 11th. Happy birthday to you and you and you, with Bonnie D on her scarlet mic serving up fame and flair with just the right spike. And joining her now with co-hosting flair is Barak E with his charm to spare. We'll announce celebs and stars from screen to stream. That's a tongue twister. And social media darlings living the dream, plus oddball holidays and music history lore. Let's light the candles, not near the computer, with happy wishes galore. So buckle up, darling. A fun show's in store. Lots of or rhymes in here. Happy birthday to you's lighting up August 11th with glam, bam, and more. So here we go. Let's get started with the August 11th events in musical history. I'll start and then we'll alternate. So 1960. I won't even calculate how many years ago. That's scary. The 2011 Go-Go's receive the 2,444th star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It is located where the legendary punk club, The Mask, spelled French, Barak, Masque, was when the Go-Go's frequently played at the club. So there you go. And you go ahead the next one.
1964 with Beatlemania at a fever pitch. The group's first movie, which was A Hard Day's Night, debuts in America. Interesting fact about me, and perhaps this will ban me from the rest of your shows. Never been a Beatles fan.
That's okay. I like you. You're still one. You're no longer my favorite, but maybe one of my favorites. There you go. We'll have to indoctrinate you there. In 1973, the first big oldies revival kicked off as George Lucas's new film, American Graffiti, opened in theaters. It was set in the year 1962, and it created a wave. I'm doing the wave, a wave of nostalgia for songs from the 50s and early 60s. So there. What's the next one? I saved this one for you because it's really cool. Go ahead.
It is really cool, and I learned something new today.
Yeah.
So 1973 as well, it was the birth of hip hop. DJ Cool Herc, whose real name was Clive Campbell, who was 18 years old at the time, rocked a party for fellow teenagers in a party in a small community at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx in New York. And that event is considered and celebrated as the birth of hip hop. He introduced the technique of playing the same album on two turntables. Oh my God, have we seen this in so many movies too? And isolating the instrumental portion of the record that will emphasize the drum beat, the break, and extended the break by switching from one break to another, right? The whole, oh
Yeah,
gosh, that's
I
so cool.
remember. Yeah.
And the breakbeat DJing with funky drum solos formed the basis of hip hop music. His announcement and urgings to dancers helped lead the syncopated, rhythmically spoken accompaniment known as rapping.
There you go. So thank you to DJ Cool Herc. And cool was spelled with the K also. That was a community room, and apparently the building is still there, and so is the
I mean,
community room.
he was Internet 2.0 before Internet 1.0 came
I
about,
know.
right?
Do you
Well
realize
done.
that was how many years ago? 25 and 25. That was 52 years ago.
I was like 1 years old at the time.
Although we're not counting ages here. In 1980, Johnny Cash sang a duet of Jackson with Miss Piggy on the Muppet Show. I think it was I'm going to. Didn't what's her name? Nancy Sinatra do that? Jackson. Anyway, Johnny Cash got under the fur of Rolf the dog with his song "Dirty Old Sucking Dog." Egg sucking dog, dirty old egg sucking dog. I'll get that right on the third try. Anyway, let's move on before I get in trouble here. What's next?
2007, we're going younger. Previous guy was 18, this guy was 17. Sean Kingston's Beautiful Girls debut single goes to #1, making him the first artist born in the 90s to land a #1 hit.
Wow, 17. My goodness gracious. And in 2008, the following year, Canadian singer Feist turned her song, and I remember I liked that song, one, two, three, four, into a lesson in counting on Sesame Street. Now, that's clever marketing, Barak. Somebody said, "Hey, Feist, you got a number song. Come on and do it here." It became one of the show's most popular music segments and more popular than her original version of the song. Do you remember the song by Feist?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think I downloaded it somewhere. Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
What's the last music one?
speaking of Sesame Street, I always loved
Yes.
the Tom Lehrer songs. He passed away recently,
Yes, I
but
know.
the Silent E and all that stuff he did for
Yeah.
anyhow. 2009, Lady Antebellum, the country group, releases Need You Now. Yeah, that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Song about drunk dialing. It sells 9 million digital downloads, goes to #1 on the country chart and #2 on the Hot 100, which it was massive.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the song. I
I
like the
do.
group. Let's go to some birthdays here, August 11th. First birthday up is Steve Wozniak, known as Woz, W-O-Z. You know who he is. He's 75 years old. Happy birthday. He's a technology entrepreneur, electrical engineer, computer programmer. So was I, and an inventor. In 1976, back in the day, he co-founded Apple Computer with his early business partner, Steve Jobs. Through his work at Apple in the 70s and 80s, Woz is widely recognized as one of the most prominent pioneers of the personal computer revolution. He was the primary designer of the Apple II, that was Roman numerals II, introduced in 77, one of the first highly successful mass-produced microcomputers, while Steve Jobs oversaw the development of its foam-molded plastic case. And I have a quick Steve Jobs story for you, Barak. On October 5th, 2011, I started my first business roundtable thought leadership show for SAP. I was working there in marketing, and I came up with the idea of thought leadership radio. It was called Coffee Break with Game Changers. I had three guests scheduled. One showed up, two were in Europe and got the time mixed up. I won't name them. And I said to the guest who showed, he was a vice president of mobility, not cars, but internet technology mobility. And I said, Dan, honey, follow my lead. We're going to talk mobility for an hour. And he said, Bonnie, it was before me too. Bonnie, honey, I'm here. But that turned out to be the day that Steve Jobs died. We found out two hours later that Steve Jobs had passed away. And it's a terrible thing to say it wasn't my fault, but the show was still pretty good anyway. So you go ahead with the next birthday, Barack. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Did I
Yeah,
really
the
say that?
WAS actually has a, I don't know if it's how private, it's semi-private, I guess, email list. Email list. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Where he sends something between 3 and 4 different emails a day of stuff that captures his interest. It's mostly like funny stuff,
Hmm.
memes and things like that. I've been on this thing for a long time. I think it's the largest folder I have in my little storage thing. And yeah, some of it's kind of interesting to read that and
Yeah.
get a sense of a man's mind through that. Anyhow, age 71, Joe Jackson, British musician, singer, songwriter, and composer. After studying music and playing clubs for years, he finally found success with the new wave singles "Is She Really Going Out with Him?" and "It's Different for Girls."
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember those at all.
I don't either, but we'll still give him credit for those. What about him?
After he moved to jazz-inflected pop music, he achieved a worldwide hit with Stepping Out. That one I remember.
Okay.
And is associated with the 1980s second British invasion of the US. Presumably the first one was the Beatles, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. Also composed classical music and recorded 21 studio albums and has 5 Grammy nominations. Whoa. Before he became famous, his first band, Edward Bear, renamed Arms and Legs, ooh, that's great, released two unsuccessful singles and dissolved in '76. Known as Davy Jackson with the band, he picked up the nickname Joe based on his perceived resemblance to the British television puppet character Joe 90, a genius child spy. Nice.
He named himself after a puppet and
I love it.
became famous. Now
I love
that was
it.
creativity. That was
That
really
is great.
creativity. And now we're celebrating the birthday of a much younger person, Viola Davis, major actress. What a force of nature
Amazing.
she is. Amazing. Actress, film producer. She won the Triple Crown of Acting in EGOT. Time named her one of, I didn't know this, one of the 100 most influential people in the world. In 2012, that was 13 years ago, and 2017. The New York Times in 2020, 5 years ago, ranked her number 9 on the greatest actors of the 21st century. She graduated from Juilliard. I didn't know that either. She made her Broadway debut in August Wilson's play Seven Guitars in '96. She earned her first Tony nomination. She won Tony Awards for 3 Wilson plays, Best Featured Actress in a Play, and I'm not going to go through the whole list, but my goodness gracious. She was TV's first Black actress to win the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for her role. And I love this series. It was unbelievable. She played lawyer, not always on the right side of the law. Annalise Keating and her band of very interesting students in the crime drama. Oh my goodness gracious, How to Get Away with Murder. It was an education of her students and all of the things that happened behind the scenes. She joined the DC Extended Universe, playing Amanda Waller, starting from Suicide Squad to Black Adam. She starred in the crime drama Widows and the historical action film The Woman King 3 years ago. Happy, happy, happy birthday to the incredible Viola Davis. And
Right.
you've got one more for us, Barak.
I do, but I have a question for you because I've
Yes.
heard it pronounced both ways,
Yes.
even in like the news clips. Is it Viola or Viola? I've
I've
heard it
heard.
announced.
Have you really heard it
I
both?
have.
I've
Yeah.
only heard it. Viola is the way I've heard it. Viola.
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, she is a musical instrument and that she's such a talented actress, so we'll give her
Yeah.
both. We'll
We'll
give her
give her
both.
both, right? Yeah.
That's a birthday gift.
Well, next one, 42, and everybody knows who he is, Chris Hemsworth, the Australian actor who rose to prominence playing Kim Hyde in the Aussie television series Home and Away, which ran for 4 seasons from '04 to '07. Before beginning a film career in Hollywood. And he became Thor in the
Mm.
2011 film and reprised it in later installments and became one of the world's highest paid actors. Not shocking. His other film roles included Star Trek in '09, Snow White and the Huntsman in 2012, the sequel The Huntsman Winter's War 2016, Black Hat 2015, loved that movie, Men in Black International 2019, and Extraction 2020, and the remake of Ghostbusters from 2016.
Yeah,
Not so
yeah,
good.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know.
Most critically acclaimed films include the comedy horror The Cabin in the Woods. That was fun. That was in 2012.
Comedy horror.
And, and the biological sports film Rush in 2013. That was a good one. And Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, which was, I think,
Last
last year.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. And Transformers 1 in '24 as well, for where he voiced Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime.
Happy birthday, Chris
Mm.
Hemsworth. Question. This man has been working. No wonder he's one of the highest paid actors. Look at the dates on these movies:
I know.
2015, 2016, 2019, 2020, 2012, 2013, 2024, 2004 to 2007, 2009, 2012. Has he even stopped? In other words, the offers of roles are just keep pouring in, just like to you and me for what we do, right? The
Oh,
offers
yeah.
just pouring
Every
in
day.
every day, every minute. Oh, there's another offer. Okay, well, I'm not going to do
I
it.
have 3 right here.
Do you really? Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah, the sound effects are, I have to remember to play them. Let's go to social media star birthdays. This is interesting. On YouTube, we have Laur, Laurdiy, as in do it yourself. Real name is Lauren Rihimaki. She is 32 today. The reason she's on my list today is she has 8.9 million plus subscribers on YouTube. She posts, no surprise, do it yourself, lifestyle and beauty content. And she is also on Instagram with over 4 million followers. And what I'm finding, Barak, is that many of these stars on one platform also have substantial followers on other two or three other platforms. So they are putting their content out across the, shall we say, across the social sphere, something like that. They're versed in the social sphere. You've got somebody for us on
The
TikTok who,
new the new career, right?
that's it. That's
The
it. Who have you
social
got?
media entrepreneur. Yeah. I got on TikTok Owen Olivers, who is 21 years old with 1.2 million subscribers and posts a point of view, comedy lip sync videos, and has 80,000 followers on Instagram.
There you go. Obviously, he's just starting out on Instagram. We should be so lucky to have 80,000 followers on Instagram. And on Instagram, we have a young man named Lucas Ventimiglia. And he is 21 also. He has 2 million subscribers and he posts Manhattan focused videos as a New York City, living the best life in New York City. He has 1.4 million on TikTok and Facebook, 2 million plus followers. So happy birthday to Lucas, 21, Owen, 21, and Lauren at 32. Happy birthday. And let's go into our holidays today. And one we've already talked about a little bit, but I think we'll do a little bit more here. National Hip Hop Day. My hips are not hopping right now, but anyway. In 1973, we know about the brother-sister duo. We didn't mention the sister, DJ Kool Herc, and his sister, Cindy Campbell, both hosted the DJ parties in the Bronx and attributed to the genre's emergence. And tell us a little more about that, Barak. What's next?
1980, the first certified gold rap song, Curtis Blow's self-titled debut album is published, and the single "The Breaks" becomes the first certified gold rap hit. I
Gold
did not
Rapid.
know that at all.
That's why I wrote it for you. And
Yeah, it's
then
really cool.
10 years later, 1990, the commercial success of gangster rap,
Mm.
which is instrumental in hip hop, again, leave my hips out of this, is becoming a mass commodity. And what have you got?
We have the National Afternoon Tea
No, no, no.
Week.
We have one more in hip hop. We have the 2018 Pulitzer Prize. You
I
got
do
that?
not have it on my
You do not.
list.
Oh, I'm going to read it. That I apologize. 2018 first Pulitzer Prize. Kendrick Lamar's "Damn" DAMN is the first hip hop album. I'm sorry, first hip hop album to win the Pulitzer and the first winning recording in any genre that is not classical or jazz. Is that something? A Pulitzer for a hip hop album. I never mind. You better rescue me and let's have some afternoon tea. It's almost 12 o'clock here. Go ahead.
National Afternoon Tea Week. Yay! And second century BC, tea leaves are used as medicine. Tea is discovered in China where people chew on the leaves to get energy and rejuvenation. I think they kind of still do that today, let's be fair.
Could I? But I buy tea bags with the mint tea that I couldn't chew on those. It would be like little dots, right? It would
No,
be,
when you get like loose leaf, especially like nice loose
yeah.
leaf, yeah, people
Yeah,
sometimes do
okay.
that.
Well, I have a loose leaf that I put notes in.
Plus,
Yeah, okay. And the
plus
other,
you have all these other versions all over the world, like
yeah,
khat, which is a
I
different, it's not tea, but it's kind of like, people chew on
okay.
the leaves, right?
Okay, I might want to chew on some leaves. Never mind. On in 1800s, tea usage increases in England after reduction in heavy import duties. Tea became a little bit cheaper, and more people were able to afford to buy it. So there. And what's next?
And in the 1840s, we have the invention of afternoon tea. It's introduced in England by Anna Maria Russell, the seventh Duchess of
Woohoo!
Bedford, who
Woohoo!
creates and introduces the afternoon tea sessions in England as a way to cure hunger pangs experienced midday. So very clever, very nice.
Very clever.
Bef
1840s. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So a couple of things here. I don't know if you've ever, gotten into the habit of afternoon tea. I think it's kind of cool if you try it. But more interesting, again, I don't know. It's always weird to me that so many people don't know this, but BC, we know what BC stands for, right? We talked about that's before
Right?
Christ. Do you know what AD stands for?
Anno Domini.
Anno Domini. Yeah, most people don't know that. Year of the Lord.
Yeah, okay. There you go. And one more in this segment, 1910s. The English tea time art is perfected. Queen Mary outlined the perfect etiquette, and menu for having afternoon tea. And I had a British gentleman on one of my technology shows many years ago, Barak, and he said, "Oh, you Americans just use dusty tea in those little packaged bags you buy in the supermarket." And he had his little pinky up and he said, "The proper cup of tea is brewed in a cup with a certain millimeter thickness of bone china. And the temperature is exactly whatever degrees has to be for the water and to steep it." And when I was traveling, I vacationed in Bermuda many years ago, and we found a below ground, it was in almost a basement level, very damp and cool, where they were serving afternoon tea with Johnny cakes and a special jam. I'm trying to think of what it was made from. It's very hard to find it here in the States. And we were served tea, proper tea, and scones and Johnny cakes with jam.
I love it in
And
milk. I actually drink my tea white, but not common here in the US.
well, when I lived with a Swiss family, French Swiss family in Neuchâtel, Switzerland, many years ago when I was touring Europe, and I spent a month in Neuchâtel, supposed to go to the university, that's a whole other story. I lived with a French family, and they served us tea and croissants for breakfast. It was a limited menu because they were paid by the tour company for having, two girls in one house and two. Anyway, I learned to put milk in my tea because I needed something for breakfast. You got two croissants, you got wonderful fresh jam. Oh, beautiful jam, raspberry and strawberry, not like what we have here. And you had unlimited tea. So I learned to put milk in the tea. And that gave me enough energy with the croissants to have something to do for the, yeah.
Well, now I have to bring up my own French food story. I stayed for 2 weeks, stayed in an apartment with my girlfriend when I was a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
outskirts of Paris. And we were on the third floor, the windows were always open. And about 5 in the morning, there was this boulangerie right at the bottom of the same building.
Mm-hmm.
And the smells would start wafting through the window of the baking. And I just like every day I would walk down kind of sleepy, walk down the stairs, join the, Parisian housewives, right? And stand in line and grab a baguette and a tub of this incredible French butter that I've never tasted since then. And go upstairs, and that was the breakfast every morning. And you
Oh,
slather that fresh baguette with that
beautiful.
incredible butter.
I think we still have a woman who knew you there. Here's what she has to say. There we go. I just wanted you to know that somebody remembered you. I'm going to close this out. Let's dance to our way out. Thank you very much for anybody who bothered to watch. I think we have a couple people here. And if it's your birthday, it's a birthday of somebody who's no longer in my life who was for many, many years. And I'll tell Barak later. And I'll just say happy birthday in memoriam to Tom. We'll just leave that one alone. Here we go. Let's dance. Thank you, Barak. First time wearing purple on a show. I think it goes well with the red. What do you think?
I think it's great. Next time I need to bring some color.
Thank you. Yes. We're going to schedule another one for you. You did great. You passed. Shine. Smile. Bonnie D and Baraki saying bye-bye. Bye-bye, social. Happy birthday if it's yours.